All right, welcome back to the trading session for Monday, August 17th, and the market is going to start in 2, 1, go. Let's see. Let's see what we'll get today. So the ES is not in a good position. We are in the middle of higher time frame SIBIs on the hourly and for hourly, and higher time frame BISIs on the hourly and for hourly, right? So on the ES, I would probably see a mitigation lower as more likely than anything to the upside. For the NQ, however, I was more bullish because of all the gaps we have in here. But on the short term, I'm definitely bearish for the NWalk close, right? So that would be interesting to me. And now we had a good swing up into the 5-minute here. That's good. So I could definitely see myself shorting into 90-minute low and NWalk down here. But we'll see. We'll see what we'll get. If we take out the old weekly high, old daily high, and the buy side up here, that would be even cleaner before going lower, right? So data lows and NWalk is the draw for me at the moment. And that was also my first scenario. Okay, that's the 5-minute here. We're still respecting these SIBIs down here. That's also good. So let's put in a short here, short position, just to be, ready when it happens. Not that it happens too quickly and we are not able to get in. Maybe this 1 minute will be a nice inversion here. And stop loss currently is this CE up here. And my last target is down here. All right. So here that's gonna be 200, 200, 400, 500. Okay, on the diesel, 500. And here that's 750, I think. Yep, it's moving fast. We have to get ready here. Yeah, I'm gonna enter here. All right, let's see. We want to take out here. We want to take out one here. And one here. We want to get rid of 4 here. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's see. If we're gonna go all the way up here, that would be crazy, right? But let's see. Damn, okay. Seems like that was not the trade to take. See if we get the rejection lower. That would be nice. Okay, we still close inside the first AM. Let's see what happens. But I'm not willing to be too aggressive here. I will cut the stop here already. I don't like how that candle behaved here, to be honest. So I need to see it get heavy here now. And we are probably out here now. Let's see. If we hit the low again, I will be cutting aggressively. and at the data lows I'll be break even. Okay, looks good. Gonna cut above the gap. I want this to get heavy here now, take me out immediately. We're gonna get rid of this one and do 5. In the CE here. Come on, just get heavy, bruh. So close. No, bro, no. Unnecessary, bro. Unnecessary. What is that market? What is that? We're out. See, and shit like that happens on Mondays, bro. Like, it's just crazy. We went down aggressively, came up aggressively, but I stuck to my stop. We came down aggressively, and we had all these draws, and then we came up aggressively. What is that, bro? I swear to God, it's crazy. Let's see what we'll get. But that's wild to me. And now we also have really clean sell side down here as well. So, yeah. Okay, meaning we inverse that and now we reclaimed that gap. So for me, that's invalidated then. But let's see, we're probably getting really heavier now. But I don't want to jump the gun either. Okay, let's get in this. I'm gonna cut to the high here immediately. I'm gonna take out 4 here immediately. And I'm also gonna take out the rest of the orders down here. Here. Come on, bro. It's just take me out, bro. It's crazy. Thank you. Oh my God. Okay, buy 5, and we're gonna go break even here. I want this to stay heavy. I don't want this to come back up. Give me a second here, break even, just like that. Alright. Let's get rid of another 2 here. Bruh. Oh my god. Sucks. Three. I hate this order, playing around with the orders. Buy 3 at the CE. Really want to be cautious here because it's not a clean market whatsoever, right? Okay, we got the gap in here, which we should respect. Let's await the close here. We have all of that, support. That's why I'm really like, I don't like holding too long in such cases, even though it's a strong draw, but we hit the high here, which is okay. And it probably kicks me out at break even here now, but I'm totally fine. I just wanted that was exactly my first scenario. What I called was mitigation to a 5-minute level, and then something like this happened, but this was shitty right here. I could have stayed, right? I could have stuck with my original stop loss, obviously, and it would have worked out, but I just knew that the scenario that was not an A+ setup, right? And that's why I cut the stop a bit more aggressively, right? And that's totally fine for me. The re-entry was fine, and boom, we're out. Okay, so I think we are break even on the day, or we made some money, I'm not sure. Let's see. Yeah, break even. Basically break even. All right. Yeah, and seeing that market is just bullshit in my opinion. ES was a lot cleaner. It just went down directly, or with a slight Judas, and then went down cleanly, let's say like that. I'm also not too interested in longs, to be honest, because yes, trend liquidity maybe, but seeing a market like that is not the nicest. But I could definitely see myself longing. Well, these levels are clean. These levels are definitely clean, that's for sure. That is for sure. Stop would be here. Take profit would be data highs here. Or not data highs, but these are clean up here. But the market is just not that great, I don't like the market. But we'll see. I'll wait for a bit more confirmations because we inverted that. We inverted the first AM, but that's a small one, and the market is shitty, and we have not taken out CE yet here, so I have to be more cautious. We also have 5-minute and 15-minute against us, so we definitely have to watch out. Okay, that's the inversion now we're playing. So we have this gap here. Let's get rid of the inversion. ES also is not showing any signs of going higher yet, so we definitely have to watch out. And yes, I had 2 trades now, but we're break even on the day, so it is okay to look for more trades. But I rarely do that. Usually I just stop. Even if it's 2 break even trades, I usually stop because of mental capacity and stuff. But I really want to see what happens here. But I would love to see the CE being taken out here of the N walk. Because then there would be like really no sell side for me anymore to expect to be taken out. Okay, we inverted that gap to the downside. This is a really fucking shitty market. It's crazy. Really, really shitty market. I'm actually happy that I didn't lose any money today, because that's wild. Back in the day, I would have lost a lot of money on days like that, right? But seeing stuff like that, you have to a lot of manipulation going on, and the conditions are not great, right? Because ES is in the middle of 2 higher time frame CBs and BISIs, right? That's not good to begin with. And ES has all of that support, yes, but the draws are not the cleanest either, right? We had the grab up here in London lunge, and then we went lower, right? Yes, we do have a couple of relative equal highs, but generally not optimal either, right? And then we have the 50-minute, 5-minute downtrend still. So let's see, but I'll get rid of that gap. I'll get rid of this stop here. It's also not valid anymore. And a market like that is also exactly the reason why I exited 2 contracts here, 2 contracts here, because my original target was the CE, right? But in market conditions like that, stuff like that happens, right? It stops before the CE and then it gets a really fucking strong pullback and stuff. It doesn't decide whether it wants to go down or up. So that's why I'm really, really cautious with my orders here, right? And that was the exact reason why I exited here, a good portion, why I exited the 2, which I fucked up because the orders took too long, and then got kicked out with the rest at break even, right? The ES is also really, really bearish. We would technically have an SMT bottom, but still the market looks really shitty still, so doesn't matter if we have an SMT bottom or not. What I would like to see is if we close above in 30 seconds, close above the 5-minute, right? Then we would have at least inverted that one. That would be good. But still, the ES, I'll show it to you, is still bearish, right? We have 5-minute SIBI, 15-minute SIBI, 1 hour took out the relative equal highs here now, but that might just be a grab. We still have the first AM up here. So ES is still very bearish. So I won't, even if we close above the 5-minute now, I'll probably not look for longs just yet. Right, but that would be the entry here. We closed above, that would be the entry, and I would look for the draws up here. But seeing a market like that, I will actively say, okay, I will be more patient here, right? Even though that might work out, but the probabilities are not great. And I'm constantly monitoring the ES, because as soon as that turns bullish here for me, like the case would be inverting the first AM to the upside, or inverting the 5-minute to the upside, or gaining a really good amount of power here, then I would also look to enter on the MNQ. But on days like that, you really have to be advanced to make money. You really have to have your strategy, you have to be really patient. You cannot be impulsive in any type of way. And you really have to stay disciplined, right? Otherwise you will lose a fuck ton of money on days like that, right? And even if it just, expands higher and goes in there, and I will not be able to be part of that, that's totally fine for me, right? Because I know that was a shitty trading day, and not trading on these days is in and itself a good decision, right? And if that works out, then I know, okay, my analysis was right. I'm already proud, because in my session prep video, I said I want to see a 5-minute level being, formed a Judas into a 5-minute level, which was perfectly here, and then short into the end walk. That was exactly what I called, and that happened. It happened in a shitty way, but it happened, right? And my second scenario was that we go into the end walk, which we did, and then now go higher. That's my second scenario, right? So let's see what it gives us. But ES is still not giving us any power to the upside. I don't like that. And if we are on the right side of the market, or if it is really strong, you also don't want to see such big bearish gaps, candles, You want to see, so if we're really bullish, you want to see FVGs like BISIs being formed on the 1 minute, maybe even being left open, like that's real power. But no gaps in here whatsoever. It's not a good market. Alright, I'll show you the ES real quick again. Again, no power to the upside. We still are technically in that 5-minute continuation to the downside, even though we have a 15-minute BISI, we have the hourly BISIs, but 5-minute is technically still bearish, right? And this is respecting that at the moment. See that? We're not forming any gaps. If you're longing this, it might work out, but that's not a good trade. You have to be aware of that. This is a B setup. It's not A plus. It's not even A. That's a B setup right there, right? If you're longing anything in here. We still have that end walk unfilled below. We could always go back down and fill that, right? So, yeah. This is, you don't want to see stuff like that happen when you're bullish. But we retested the 5 minute here. Tap the 5 minute. Let's see if we get a reaction off of that. Tap the first AM. So if we're really bullish and if we're gonna go for these levels up here, we should really get some power now, like really start to rally, you know. Let's see what happens at 10 a.m. here. Because then we also have the 15-minute close, and that would actually be good if we close above that 15-minute, because then technically the trend would have changed. Let's quickly check the 15-minute here. Yeah, we only have that SIBI. There are no more SIBIs in here on the 15-minute. That's nice. So we only have resistance on the 5-minute. $500 on a diesel. Let me get a 500. $5 on a diesel. 500. Oh, 500. My fault. Bro, this is the best clip. But you know, also on the session prep, I said Monday no news. So statistically, Monday is my worst trading day in general, and even worse are no news Mondays, right? Because these tend to have price action like that, you know. And that's yet another data point here for me today, to be honest. So yeah, I'm actually pretty content to be break even because, you know. Okay, let's see. 40 seconds, 10 a.m. will hit. ES is moving lower. As you can see, we're moving lower. We're almost going to take out the form a lower low. 5 minute is still intact. This is not a good sign. So this is one thing I've recently been more looking into, is the ES and NQ being in sync, right? Because if the ES is still bearish while the NQ has already, for my confluences, turned bullish, for example, I have to be very cautious, right? Because if they are not in sync, if the ES is moving lower and the NQ is moving higher, you can technically not say which direction they want to go, right? Either direction could be the correct one. So that's when I'm really cautious. Okay, yes, took out trend liquidity here. Let's see if it wants to continue lower or if that was a grab and yet another SMT bottom. But you can already see, the 5-minute inversion was with 49 here. So with this close, if I would have entered here, what is that? That's a lot of gray hair, right? That's not good for your mental capacity to trade something like that. 500 days, 500. Let me get 500 days off. 500. Yeah. All right. That's my sign to sign off, to clock out, right? So you can already see, the ES continued down, even though we technically turned bullish. 5-minute inversion. It's just not in a good stage when ES is moving lower, right? You have to watch out. On top of that, it's no news Monday. We technically still have that end walk unfilled. The CE is still open. The draws to the upside are not the best, right? And ES is also generally not in a good state to move higher. So yeah, on these days like these, either you are okay with that, what I took here, which is the case for me now. I'm really content that I have outlined that correctly, but I was break even. That's fine, right? I could have made some money if I would have kept my stop up here, right? And I'll think about if I should have done that. But on the other hand, we reclaimed the 1 minute. That's just a rule for me that I will leave if that's the case, So I think I did everything right here. And break even on the day. No news Monday, I usually lose statistically, so I guess it's a win. But I haven't, brought myself to not trading Mondays yet, but I might. I'm considering to actually stop trading on Mondays altogether, because that's data for the past, I think, year. 240 fucking trading days. And I was either break even on Monday or lost on Monday. So I don't know. Mondays is not my day, All right. I hope you learned something. And I hope you didn't get caught up in the chop. And thank you for tuning in. And I'll see you tomorrow.